Hi, this is Fifth Dimension, and this reading is for the sign of Leo. I am going to bring forth someone who is significant in your life, who is past, but stands beside you as a guide here on earth. And I use several tools to do that. I will bring out numbers that are representative of this person's birth month, birth or death month, or dates that are significant to them. I will bring out some initials. I have cards from A to Z. I pray and meditate over them and shuffle them all beforehand, and whatever falls to the ground, the divine and I have an agreement that that's what I will take. So I do that. I also pull their energy when they were alive. What kind of occupational energy did they have? What kind of personality did they have? What colors did they like? Were they cremated? Were they buried? Etc. And then their story, which is what I will tell you first, that led up to their demise. I do this to bring some light and some healing and happiness to loss, because grief and loss are a very powerful thing. And it is true that the people left behind are the people that hurt the most, because as we know, our loved one is in heaven with God. Um, and so I just have always connected with people that have passed and brought them forth for other people. And when I saw the happiness and joy that it brought to them, I decided to go ahead and try to get this out there. So I prayed and meditated over everything, like I said in advance, and I'm going to just get right down to it so I don't take too much of your time up. Um, this person that's coming through for my Leo viewer is a male. Okay, now he wasn't just any kind of guy. He was an extremely influential man. He had a lot of power. He had he had the job occupation of where he actually assisted people on a level that most of us don't get to. And that was, I have him possibly as a judge or someone high up in maybe HR of a large company, but he determined what things people went through at their workplace or their home life, possibly. He might have even been a preacher, possibly, but I'm not getting that. I get a lot, I'm getting a judge of some kind. Um, he was kind of raised with abundance. He already had came with a family of money, and he liked to dress very nice. He liked to play chess, possibly. He had a very nice home, a large brick home. He had one of the sections of his home actually had like a, I don't know if it's called a spire or, that peak on the edge of the home that kind of comes up. And it was very beautiful. He had some land. He loved to sit outside in the nice weather. He always wore a sweater most most of the time. And when he dressed up for things, I mean, he went all out. He was one of those guys that would rent the tux. He looked dapper and he enjoyed it and he loved it. Um, it's funny too, because he said I felt like a penguin when I dressed like that, but I did enjoy having people tell me that I looked nice. So I thought that was kind of funny. Um, but anyways, he actually experienced an illness in the sense that he got diagnosed with possibly diabetes, or he got diagnosed with a condition that he knew that he had to make some changes in his life. So I'm not seeing heart, I guess, but it possibly could have. But after he kind of recovered from the information that he had an illness or a disease or a condition, he kind of set out to think, okay, I'm going to start living my life. And I actually see him possibly going to like Africa, traveling someplace where he saw giraffes, possibly, but he actually kind of wanted to step up his uh, game of life and wanted to start living a little bit more aggressively and checking out things on his bucket list. Yeah, I definitely have him as a court person. I I sometimes take the judge energy, the occupational energy, and I want to um, not force it to fit. I want to kind of think outside the box. So I also feel there's a lot of positions out there where someone is not a black robed judge, that also they determine a person's fate at work or possibly in their home life. So, but yes, I do. I definitely think he was probably a judge. He was married. He lost his wife, I believe, um, kind of like after he found out about this illness, possibly. Maybe he thought that he was the one that, was going to pass first, but he did not. His wife passed first, and then he passed after her. He left a good bit of money. He left a legacy that was very, very important to him, and a lot of money to some people may not be a lot to others. But he did leave quite a legacy. I have that he left land. I have that he possibly had a daughter, and she also was raised like him, with a advantage in life, and had a very nice life, or has a very nice life. I may be speaking to you, and if I am, I'm so sorry for the loss of your father. Um, but yeah, just a very strong man. And I mean, I pulled his energy just kind of as a person, and he okay, so he was telling me a couple of different things. Okay, he was cremated, I believe. I also believe that there was something red by his urn, or you put something red in his urn, but there was something about red there. And, I got the black robe thing again at the beginning, or he liked to wear black a lot. He did not like a team that had the colors of blue or brown, possibly. So he may have been a sports fan, but he was very adamant how he felt about a specific team that he did not like, did not cheer them on, did not want them to win, didn't enjoy when his team played them. And their colors might have been possibly blue, is what I'm getting. But he was a super deep thinker. He valued logic. He often overthought or was an overthinker. He didn't really talk about his feelings. I mean, he kind of felt like his purpose here on earth was to not be weak. He was going to be strong and guide people. And that really was his goal and his mission. He felt he was kind of a strategic type of personality mentally. He was extremely efficient, self-sufficient, handled his shit, for lack of a better word. So, all right, let's set that aside. And I pulled a letter and a number, like I told you at the beginning, and I'm going to show you what I pulled. What I do is I shuffle them, and I have an agreement with the divine. If they fall on the floor, I take them. So here we go. Sometimes these make words and I don't see it. But what I really ask the divine to do is to give me some letters that are representative of this person's first, middle, or last name. So I have X, M, L, U, T. So L, X, U, M, T. So don't force it to fit, but think outside the box. These letters could encompass his first, middle, last name. He might have had a dog that he called Mutt. So that's an example of not forcing things to fit, but thinking outside the box. But the divine believes that these letters will represent your loved one and confirm for you that it is, in fact, who you think it is that is your earth guide here on earth. All right. And then I prayed and shuffled over the letters. Again, don't force things to fit, but think outside the box. So, for example, I have a 2 that could actually represent the second day of any month, or could represent February. The 4 could represent April. The 11 could represent 2011, or February 11th, April 11th, April 21st, February 21st. So these would be events that were significant to him. If you don't see a birth month, a death month, a birthday, or a death date, or a year that possibly might be representative of him, it could be his wedding anniversary date. It could be your birthday. I had a viewer tell me in his brother's reading that his initials came up. So this would just be confirmation for you. And I hope that that confirmed something for you. And then I asked him, if he could say anything to you right now, what would he say? And these usually are beautiful moments. He must have been quite a talker, because I usually only get 2 or 3 to fall. I received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if this sounds like your loved one, then you know for sure it is. He wants you to know, I am just a thought away. All right. And then the other one, now this I asked him about. I am sorry, please forgive me. And I said, what do you mean by that? Was your death accidental, or what exactly, not accidental, but was there something that you caused your death that you feel that you need to say you're sorry? And he said, no, I just didn't spend as much time with my children as I wanted to. And this may be because he had a big job, he had a big purpose here on earth. And even though these very important people are our dads and our moms, are our brothers and our sisters, I mean, sometimes we are the ones that sacrifice, our community or our state, benefiting from our family members' roles, their purpose here on earth at the time that they're here. He wants you to know also, I have no pain. So he possibly could have suffered from pain from whatever condition this was that he got diagnosed with. I don't believe this condition led to his demise. I sometimes don't get the cause of death, and I did not in his circumstance, but I don't believe that this condition, diagnosis, or disease led to his demise. I just believe it was something that it made him uncomfortable. All right. Tears cleanse the soul. He's asking you, if you feel like crying, it's okay. Go ahead and cry. I mean, he's standing beside you, so close your eyes and receive a hug from him and just go ahead and cry. He also wants you to know, my mind is free. And when I picked up this card from the floor, he said, I was always so occupied. My mind was always so occupied that sometimes when my family members would talk to me, I wouldn't even hear them speak. So he wants you to know that my mind is free. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I wasn't there for you before, but I am spiritually with you in everything you do. And then last, he wants you to know, it was my time to go. So nothing anyone could have said or done differently would have brought him back to life. I believe that our life path is set at birth, and so he is letting you know, it was my time to go. There was nothing anyone could have done. It was my time. But I know he loves you, and I know you miss him, and I hope that this brought you some peace and happiness and some light in light of your loss and grief. And I'm so sorry for your loss. And please hit subscribe if you can. That way, if this didn't resonate, you can see my other videos that are coming up in the future. And you can also look back at some of the other ones and see if one of those resonate in case this one did not. Thank you so much for your time. And God bless you, Leo. And have a great day. Bye-bye from the fifth dimension.